All right, J-Mac, let's do some gridiron grades. We'll make grades for what we saw yesterday, a flurry of trades, a bevy of trades. A lot of them, I think, give good teams just a little more sauce, a little more juice. San Francisco.
All right, so we are going beyond yesterday. San Fran obviously getting Christian McCaffrey, CMC, CMAC, whatever you want to call him. What grade would you give the Niners after the trade deadline?
A B+, because he does miss time. And they're also bringing back Elijah Mitchell, so he's not going to get the volume of touches. But they've got him under contract through 2025, and Kyle Shanahan is a brilliant offensive mind. We've seen in a game and a half, 2 games, but we've seen McCaffrey already an integral part. Now, you cross your fingers on the health. That you cross your fingers on. But, again, he's not going to be, as Debo comes back, he's not going to be a volume performer to the level he was at Carolina.
The man throws a touchdown, catches a touchdown.
He's good.
Rushes, and you get him a B+. Woof. Tough Colin today. What grade would you give the Baltimore Ravens? They got Roquan Smith at the trade deadline.
B. They have real needs. Their defense has struggled to keep leads, and he is a tackling machine. He leads the NFL in tackles with 83. So, and also, you start looking around the AFC, they're going to have to get through Burrow and the Bengals and Mahomes and Josh Allen and then Tua's offense. So they need a defensive stopper, and Roquan Smith is a tackling machine. B.
All right. Miami Dolphins, they got Bradley Chubb at the deadline to bolster a pass rush that's struggling this year. How do you grade the Miami Dolphins?
A-. Very, very good. They gave up a running back. Their running game this year has been a little hit and miss. Chubb is an excellent player. They took 3 first-round picks they got for that Trey Lance trade, and they got Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, and Bradley Chubb. Now think about that. So they got 2 stars. Waddle's great too. So let's just label those guys stars. 3 picks. They got 3 stars. When's the last time? You know how hard it is in the NFL to go 3 for 3 draft picks for stars, even in the first round? The Dolphins did a great job of transitioning from picks to stars.
Chicago Bears got Chase Claypool at the deadline, giving some Justin Fields some help. How you grading out the Bears?
I think it's an A, because you have to find out what Justin Fields is. Now they have 8 picks next year. He has more receiving touchdowns, 12, than any active Bear receiver, and he's also a body type they need. Mooney's a smaller body type. He's a big, strong guy. You can do a lot of things. So I loved it. It's exciting. It feels like Chicago's grown up and has said, okay, it's not 1996. You got to win with weapons. Got another weapon.
Speaking of weapons, Minnesota Vikings add TJ Hockenson to Justin Jefferson, Thielen, Cook.
I thought this is an A++++.
Wow.
First of all, they're not good at tight end. They are now. He leads all tight ends in yards per catch, 15. And they not only got TJ Hockenson, they got 2 draft picks. And those are Lions draft picks. So those could be top of a round. I thought I cannot believe in division Minnesota did that well. In division to get a great tight end, and it's a position of need for Minnesota. And the other thing, it's like the Claypool move. You're getting a quarterback who needs people to elevate him. Justin Jefferson, Thielen, Cook, TJ Hockenson. Come on now. I think Minnesota, there's no question, in a couple of weeks when they work him in, that is a better football team, and you got 2 picks. For an organization that is drafted at times very well.
Let's go to the Philadelphia Eagles. Undefeated, pick up Robert Quinn from the Bears. How do you grade that move?
Well, it's an offensive league, not a defensive league, so I'll give them an A, not an A+. But I think it's a home run. Their defense already top 5 in sacks, and they add another. It's almost like the Rams last year had Aaron Donald and had a pass rush. We're just going to add Von Miller. And that's what Buffalo did. We have a pass rush. Let's add Von Miller. You get to a point now with Philadelphia, you can't double anybody. So Philadelphia has got a line now that everybody is going to get singularly blocked, should be. I think Robert Quinn's going to end up being really, really influential in big games.
Handing out a lot of A's. McCaffrey not getting one, the only surprise so far. All right, let's get to a real good team, the New York Jets. They should get credit for not selling low on Elijah Moore, right? They got James Robinson and the trade of Jacob Martin getting another draft pick. Give the grave.
C. I mean, he's okay. I mean, the reason Jacksonville let him go, Travis Etienne's having a good year.
Right.
So it's fine. It's not.
They didn't make a move on the offensive line. You're over the Jets, clearly. All right, let's go to the Jaguars. How do you grade what they did at the deadline?
Well, it's a B+. He's not playing this year, but Calvin Ridley, what they want to do is get him inside the organization so we can start working eventually with Trevor Lawrence. Let's just get him here now. So I kind of thought it was under the radar. Like, Christian Kirk feels like, to me, he's always felt like a 2. And so I think Ridley feels like a 1. And, Robinson left, and they've kind of struggled to find that feels like that 1. So I like that move a lot. They just want him in-house. Let's get him working. When's the suspension end? At the end of the calendar year? So I don't know.
Sure, I'm not sure. They got a lot of SEC guys on that offense. Huh? Just loading up. Let's move to the Kansas City Chiefs. How do you grade their moves at the deadline?
Well, it's interesting. I don't know what Toney is. I trust Andy Reid and Brett Veach. I watched his YouTube stuff, but he didn't do much with the Giants. But here's the thing, is that Hardman and Juju Smith-Schuster are free agents next year. So I think their takeaway is, let's get somebody into our system. So I'd give him a B. Let's get him into our system. I just don't know enough about him. Like, I haven't seen him excel at the NFL level, so I just don't.
I would
what do you
call
think?
Up the Giants-Saints game from last year. He was electric.
Well, no, he's quick.
He is unbelievable in space. By the way, all of a sudden, he's magically healthy. I picked him up in fantasy just to take a chance. I'm telling you, this kid could do some things.
Yeah.
Gadget plays, slot, outside, like he is dynamic. And we'll wrap up with the Buffalo Bills at the trade deadline, picking up Nyheim Hines.
Well, it's a good solid B. He's a pass-catching running back. I still think this organization is so dependent on Josh Allen. He's accounted for 36% of their rushing yards and leads the Bills in rushing TDs. So they got another guy, and this is somebody you can swing it to. It's kind of a safety guy out in the flat. He's solid player that can catch the ball.
The problem with Zach Moss, the kid out of Utah, when he was on the field, opponents knew it's a run because he can't do anything else.
Yeah.
Very limited. So now they have Singletary, right? Nyheim Hines.
Yeah.
And they got Dalvin Cook's brother, James Cook. So each of those guys come on the field, you're like, geez, what are they doing here? Because they can catch passes, good between the tackles. It's a dangerous Buffalo offense. I can't wait for Bills-Chiefs in the playoffs. It's going to be awesome. Nobody's derailing that game, by the way. That's happening for sure.
Yeah, it feels like. So it's interesting. I do feel like in the AFC, that feels like the heavyweight fight. Chiefs-Bills.
Yeah.
But in the NFC, I think you and I agree, Philly and San Francisco, Philly now and San Francisco when they're healthy, feels like the best teams. But you got to, Dallas and their defense, Minnesota and their offense, you got to respect it.
So we got 30 seconds, who is the Cincinnati Bengals, the most likely Bengals team from last year, make a deep run, surprise everybody, and go to the Super Bowl from each conference? And you cannot say the Bengals again because I know you like Joe Burrow.
That's a good call.
Yeah,
I always like Baltimore.
I put him on the spot.
Would somebody say?
30 seconds. That's what they said.
Well, somebody said, I have the Dolphins getting in. And Dolphins a good pick. Listen, Bradley Chubb.
NFC, can I say on the Saints making a shocking run? Okay, take a flyer. Saints to win the NFC South, baby. I'm not even kidding either.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.